What happened to Bo Peep after she left Andy and Molly? Well, stay tuned. I think I have those facts in order. But first, I want to know, do you prefer the original Bo Peep or her redesign?
You have McGann, the Fangirl. Make sure you subscribe and check back every week for new fandom videos. So I happened to notice that the Toy Story 4 art book came out, and lo and behold, I was amazed to find it was already available on Hoopla. And if you've never heard, Hoopla is a free app used by many libraries to offer digital checkouts to their patrons. So, minutes after seeing the art book was released, I scrolled through the pages looking for clues on Toy Story 4. And I have to admit, the crew at Pixar is really aware of spoilers and internet theorists, because that book didn't give out a lot of details. But there were a few bits here and there, and I believe I know the details of Bo Peep's gap years away from Woody now. It is confirmed on page 142 of the digital art book that the Bo Peep in Toy Story 4 is the original Bo Peep from Andy's room. To quote production designer Bob Pauly directly, Bo Peep was a secondary character in the previous Toy Story films. We refined her design with greater detail in her face and body for her expanded role, using current tech to fulfill the original goal some 20 plus years ago of a beautiful porcelain doll. That isn't a surprise to most of us, but since I put out a trailer analysis months ago speculating that it was a different Bo Peep because she looks so off, let me just address that this channel doesn't regurgitate facts. That's why it's called a theory, not a facty. I gamble on ideas in an attempt to make films and shows more interesting, but at the end of the day, this channel is about critical thinking more than it's about being right. If I only published videos where I was sure I was 100% correct, there would be no videos ever. So take everything with a grain of salt and have fun with the discussion of ideas. Being perfectly right or wrong doesn't matter as much. So even though my last Bo Peep video was proven wrong, that's okay. I was going off of extremely limited information, and come on, new Bo Peep looks plastic, not porcelain, so I stand by the thought process behind that video. Moving along. The backstory of Bo Peep actually gets revealed in the art book, and even though I'm usually an advocate of saying if they cut it from the movie it doesn't count, this is really all we have to go off of, so in this case, I'm gonna trust what director Josh Cooley had to say. On page 41 of the digital art book, he says, "We saw her," referring to Bo, "given to a new family, placed in storage for years, donated, bought at a thrift store, given as a white elephant gift, and then broken accidentally by a child. Bo then made a huge choice and left that kid. She and her sheep traveled through the rain and cover of night to create a new life at the antique store." Wow, there is a lot to unpack in that paragraph. I can't even imagine what it was like for Bo Peep to be given away, thrown in storage, and then donated. We see the impact that had on Barbie and Jessie, so that all gives me a very sickening feeling for what Bo went through for years. And then she got bought from a place like Goodwill and thought somebody really wanted her, only to be used as a white elephant gift? If you've never heard that term before, a white elephant party is where you exchange purposefully bad gifts that no one would want. So someone essentially saw Bo Peep and thought, perfect, she looks like garbage. I can't even imagine a worse thing to happen to a toy who thinks they're gonna go to a new home. Then finally, Bo gets broken, which we can assume is why the purple tape is on her wrist, and that's her last straw. She snapped mentally, afraid of her own fate, and really, who could blame her? All of that information certainly gives us a great lead up for the Bo Peep we meet in Toy Story 4, who is not a damsel waiting to be saved anymore, or I guess a toy waiting to be loved in her case. It also offers a stark contrast to the overall theme of Toy Story 3, which was, it's better to donate your toys so someone else can love them like you used to. Not every toy will have the same success as Woody and Buzz, and that's a conflict I'm really interested in seeing explored. The art book also suggests that Bo Peep lives in the antique store now, but not as an item for sale. She basically hides in the pinball machine to avoid being purchased, then comes out at night to do as she pleases. However, as much as this information accounts for, Cooley also notes that they cut Bo Peep's flashback out of the film film as the story evolved. So this could all end up being flavor text that doesn't work with the final version of the film. Personally, I hope they at least allude to this backstory in the movie. It truly offers a fantastic build-up to Bo's personality change, and my previous impression from the trailers is that Bo just knew that her time with Molly was coming to an end, so she ran away, which is much less satisfying since all the toys have this innate need to be loved by children. But we'll have to wait and see for ourselves what the movie does. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun.
Okay, I am totally out of Toy Story songs to derp with at the end of these videos, so I think I want to do an interesting one in honor of Duke Kaboom. I'm about to date some people who recognize this. Our country reeks of trees. Our yaks are really large, and they smell like rotting beef carcasses. And we have to clean up after them, and our saddle sores are the best. We proudly wear women's clothing as searing sand blows up our skirts. And the buzzards, they soar overhead, and poisonous snakes will devour us whole, and our bones will bleach in the sun. And we will probably go to Black, and that is our great reward for being in the Royal Canadian Kilted Yaxmen. No, that is not a real Canadian anthem. Do not get that mixed up. But if you recognize where that song is from, leave me a message. I would love to connect with some other people that are old enough to remember that. Bye!
Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have two other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.